So, hello everybody, welcome to and welcome back to my channel Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and I'm joined by two wonderful guests. Um, one wonderful guest and Sean Standfast. so I'm joined this week by Sean D. Standfast, of course, from the channel of the same name, and also that rose between two thorns down there. We're joined by Farah from Bookstalgic. So welcome, Farah, first of all.
Thank you.
How you doing? You all right?
Yep, I'm doing okay. Just, busy with everything going on and not a lot of reading, but it's good. Yeah, everything's very good. Yep.
I see you're in the Christmas room, the Christmas wing
Yeah,
of your house
getting
there.
there. I just got a bookshelf here. So it's like every booktuber's dream to have an empty bookshelf just waiting for books. So yeah, that'll be fun to put that together. I needed it. I'm just looking at the piles that you can't see. But yeah, it'll be nice. Hopefully do that this weekend.
I
Yeah,
still
for
need
me
to
to
work
have
on
an empty bookshelf and have everything on, I probably need another 15 or 20 bookcases.
Yep.
Even
Yeah,
one.
Farah probably doesn't know how many books you've got, Sean. What's the rough estimate?
Somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000.
Really? Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, and it's too much for this tiny house. So
Yeah. Well, they're hard to resist.
I
I
have
get
to
it.
call, but I need to get more bookcases to put out what I can first. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you've got more space surely than you had in your previous place, though.
yeah, but somehow they all fit in there, and I can't figure that out.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to work out the whole logistics of actually getting some bookcases behind me. Annoyingly, I've got one there, which you can't really see. You just see the side of it and a couple of
Yeah.
books on top. But yeah, I'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
Well,
you'll get there.
what you need to do, because you have all that space, don't buy bookcases. If you can get somebody fairly cheap to build in from floor to ceiling, that's the best way.
I've already had that conversation with the carpenter this week, actually.
And was it?
He used the Czech expression "uvidíme," which means "we'll see." So I don't know what that means exactly, because I don't know. You can't really see it, but I've got this attic, which is an attic room, and you can see there's no way of getting up there. So we were talking about somehow putting in stairs, and I was saying, well, maybe it'd be nice to just have bookshelves all around the walls here, and then maybe a sliding ladder that would allow me to go up into the loft. And he was like, oh, yeah, we'll see. So, yeah.
Well, that's the perfect excuse to have a library ladder.
Exactly right.
Exactly. And then what you need, though, is a false door that looks like books or an actual, and then you can go in and you got your secret stash of books.
Oh, yeah. I don't read a lot of those type of books, Sean. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's be expensive though. All that kind of, craftsmanship and everything. It does come at a premium, even here. So, yeah, it cost a pretty penny. No, the key would be to get a student of carpentry who needs like a project and say, hey, you can do this, for
I'll let you build these for me for your experience.
I'll let you, exactly right. Yeah, do what you want. I'll let you.
But the actual, they're not like, you're not going to have, you could do it yourself. They wouldn't be, like, oak stained or anything like that, but you could do stuff that would be presentable yourself, because all you're going to see is the edges of the shelves.
True.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm really inept when it comes to a lot of DIY. Although, having said that, I feel that if there's a YouTube video about it, I could probably follow that, and see what happens. So we've got two of the three Aarons joining us already. Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
And hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
So there we go. And the comments are in alphabetical order. Well, then, yeah, they are actually. So, yeah. I was going to say chaps, but that doesn't work for you, Farah, does it? Where's the hat trick? I don't know. I think he's busy. Notre Dame de Paris. It must be like Groundhog Day for you, Sean, because obviously you finished it again. Just for those people watching it, but I don't think we're even halfway through, are we, Farah?
No, not even close. I thought I was through book 3, but I'm only through book 2. It's going slowly for me. It's just, yeah, like Brandy said, I think it's just a busy time of year. So it's, I just find myself wanting to do other things than read, like watch Christmas movies and bake and do stuff like that. So it's not gripping me yet, but it's good. I mean, when I pick it up and read it, it's pretty good. I really do like the writing style. I like that narration style I was telling you guys in the Voxer, where it's like that first person but omniscient, where it's like there's somebody telling us a story. And it reminds me a lot of the Chronicles of Narnia with C.S. Lewis. There's that person that's telling us what's going on. So I like that. And it is funny. There's it's such a subtle humor throughout it, like with Gringoire. It's making me laugh. I'm catching the little like ways he's poking fun at him. So yeah, I like it so far. It's good.
Yeah, I mean it's very conversational almost, isn't it? The way it's told, I think.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. But again, it's all. I always find it difficult to talk about like the writing style and stuff when something's translated, because I mean we don't really know how much of Hugo is captured by the translator. Of course, I'm reading a different translation to you two, I think. So
yeah.
What did you think of the writing style, Sean, when you read it?
Well, I don't know if I have really noticed any difference in like the Les Miserables translation in this one, as a style for Hugo. It's very similar because, as Farah's saying, he does go into things, and like he's not opposed to saying, going along describing this, well, that's an idiot, we'll just leave that person for a while. Like he doesn't say it in those words, but he'll say that kind of thing and then just move on to something else, or now we return to whatever. And they seem to keep that style in most of the translations that I've seen, or at least I haven't read a whole lot of Victor Hugo anyway, but I've read Les Miserables many times, so. But I enjoyed it. It's just there are things that like you can see that he's in a way almost honing his craft for Les Miserables, because there's things in there, and even Summer mentioned it about the shoes. There's that little thing. Like he makes more of a thing about the shoes, or a pair of shoes here in Hunchback, but than he does in the other thing. But I think it might have been sort of a harking back to it or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So he wrote this first before Les Mis. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very powerful, that bit with the shoes in Les Mis, isn't it? Really, it's one of the most moving parts of the book for me. But yeah, you need to read that, Farah. That's your homework. Teacher Mark tells you, that's your assignment.
Well, I just got done with Clarissa, so I wasn't ready yet. Pick that one up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's definitely one I want to try. We have a few more comments. So Genre Books is here. Evening. And Randy Ray is here. Howdy.
Hi, Randy.
And Ariane is here as well. So
hi, Ariane.
Good cast of characters, a nice rogues gallery there in the comments. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed, and I don't think Farah, you've got there yet, but the Sean, you might remember the I think it's book 3 where it's only 2 chapters, and it talks about describes the Cathedral of Notre Dame, and and then gives like I think it's a bird's eye view of Paris or something.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one. Yeah, his digression of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as long as the digressions that you get in Les Mis, but it's really interesting.
There's one that you've yet to come to, and it's architecture and books, and I don't think he knows exactly what he's trying to say, because it more or less lost me, or I didn't catch half the stuff. I just don't think he made his case, but
Yeah.
you'll get there eventually.
Well, it was so interesting. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh, I was just going to ask real quick. Did you ever read the abridged version of this? Because
No.
I'm wondering if they take out those pieces and it's more of just a plot.
I think they do.
Probably.
Like they do that with Les Miserables. They take out all the digressions. I don't think there's anything of the digressions in there, because there's not really, like, it's almost a Hunchback of Notre Dame is almost, the story is like, okay, he wants to say something. Oh, but I need to have a story. Okay, well, just
Yeah.
sort of staple on the story you have of
Mhm.
Quasimodo, Esmeralda, and et al. The three others actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting to read the abridged version after, maybe.
Let's see what they left out. Or
Yeah.
I imagine it probably is that kind of stuff, really. Because I saw a few copies of Les Mis that were actually really considerably thinner than the unabridged version. So I'm guessing it's pretty much all they can take out, really.
But I bet they leave for Les Miserables. They leave the love story between Cosette and Marius probably intact, and it's like, that's the part you can cut out and then make it more enjoyable.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I didn't mind it. But
It's over the top, and he makes fun. That's the thing. He makes fun of romance. Mrs. Thénardier reading these, schlocky romances, but he does a schlocky romance as well. But it's not, I guess. So if he's doing that, and either he's satirizing it, or which I'm not sure, or the schlocky ones are really bad.
Yeah.
Because if he says they're bad and writes that, I don't want to even go near those, because like Madame Bovary is bad enough, and then Red and the Black is just way over the top.
Don't know if I did. Have I done Red and the Black yet? What's the other? I did Charterhouse of Parma.
Yeah, I've got to read that one.
Yeah. No, have you read much French literature, Farah?
Nope. I have Madame Bovary on my shelf. I just haven't got to it yet. One of these days.
In the original French, of course, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try it in French. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, right.
Well, I reread it with Aaron Facer earlier. It was earlier this year, I think it was. And I really enjoyed it the first time, but then the second time I didn't quite enjoy it as much. And that's I can't even think of 3 or 4 books that I've reread that I've thought that with, but that's one of them.
Yeah, it's funny how the reread can go a little differently,
Well, this definitely did, but other ones that I've reread, I've with Ariane. Well, Mark and I, we did, after we did Les Miserables, we read Lost Illusions by Balzac, and that was, I think, my second read of it in the same translation. And then I found out there was a new translation, so I wanted to get that. And Ariane and I, that's hard to say. Ariane and I read it earlier this year, and then we're going to read the sequel. But you've already done the sequel, I think, Mark.
No, I haven't read The Harlot High and Low yet. No.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
No. I was thinking about, because we mentioned it last week, I might join you because I'm curious to read it. But yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to read that new translation. It's by the same guy, and it's really good. It's just Balzac has a penchant for, there's a good word, for long paragraphs. Like sometimes there's 4 or 5 page long paragraphs.
Mm,
And it's like
yeah.
you want okay, I'll just read another page. Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
You're just trapped in it.
Well, you've got to honor the ball sack, right? So,
So they say.
um, I'm curious, Farah, about your mug. It looks almost like a beer stein rather than a.
It's a big coffee mug, but it just has tea in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an old Disney vintage
Yeah.
design. I don't know. I just like a lot of tea at once. So
And
Cheers.
it's fruit tea or what?
no, it's that ginger turmeric tea.
Oh, right, okay.
Good for
So
all the joints,
not tea with milk then.
No, not
Not
this
like
time.
mine.
Yeah.
You're not a tea drinker, are you, Sean?
I am, but not that often. I'm not a habitual drinker of it, and I detest having a tea bag put into a cup and squeezed to death. It has to
Outrageous.
be in a teapot, and it can be tea bags, but you don't squeeze them, and you got to do it correctly, and
I could just
Gotta
see you
bear
being
it,
very
definitely.
dainty with that, holding the thing as you pour the tea out, and I'll be mother. Right, Sean? That's you. Yeah. One lump or two with your little silver sugar tongs.
No, I don't go that far.
No, all right then. So yeah, I mean, I knew, of course, when I scheduled this that we wouldn't have a huge amount to say on Notre Dame de Paris, or what's the other title, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. But I like to leave it open. So I wonder, Farah, I don't know how you're doing for time, of course, because you're on a slight limit. But
Got
we'll
half
start
an
with you.
hour.
Sorry.
I got half an hour.
Wonderful. We'll start with you then. Have you read anything else this week, or
No,
been
not
too busy
no. I
or
really haven't.
preoccupied with other things?
Yes, I've been occupied with other things for
Mhm.
most of my free time. No, I'm trying not. I have like 5 books going right now, and I'm trying to just focus on this one because I
Mhm.
kind of lost steam with all of them. But I was reading The Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and that was pretty short, so I thought I was going to get it done quickly, but I got about halfway, and I just haven't picked it up. But that was good. The writing was really good for that one. And then those 3, I mean, you've heard all of them already. The 3 spy novels, still going with that.
Let me see if I can remember what
happened.
they are. I'm sure I
Okay.
can remember. Hang on. It's the audiobook, The Alice Network. Is that
Yep.
right? There's the One-Legged Spy, The Woman of No Importance.
Yep. Virginia
And the
Hall.
last one is Spy and the Traitor, the Oleg Gordievsky one by Ben McIntyre. You see?
Yes, you
It's almost
remember.
like I'm stalking you, isn't it? It's terrible.
Yeah,
I
and they're
never
all really good. I just can't focus right now. After Christmas, I think it'll be better. Yeah.
Mm.
They're all good. Yeah. I also want to start Candide by Voltaire. That's the next one on my 100 greatest books of all time project.
It's short though. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
But it's very funny. It's very
It
it?
is fun.
It's,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit rude
Okay.
though. Some rudeness in it. I
Yeah.
don't know how much of a prude you are or anything, but there's some really weird stuff, isn't there, Sean?
Yeah, but it's funny.
As long as
Yeah.
it's funny, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smutty, sleazy almost. Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you, Sean? You were going to say something just then when Farah mentioned, or I mentioned those books that she was reading?
Oh, I just say I never heard of the spy ones that you mentioned. I don't think I know any of them. So
I think they're all nonfiction, right? Or except the Alice Network.
The Alice Network is fiction, historical fiction, but the other 2 are nonfiction. Yeah, and I hadn't heard of them either until I did Dr. November, and I was just looking for stuff to read, and I just randomly picked them, and they're good. They're really good. Yeah. Yeah. What about you 2? What are you reading?
Sean?
well, I finished this month's Clifford Simak book, Destiny Doll. So it was fun rereading
Destiny
that.
Dog.
Dog or doll?
Doll. Mhm.
Doll.
And I'm not sure when we'll be doing the video or the live for that one, because we still got to do last month's Werewolf Principle. And I started, which I didn't get. I haven't read much this week, actually. I started this sucker,
In the pub.
Ruth the
Ooh.
Betrayal. It's Penny Dreadful, and it's good, but I just haven't. I don't know. It's not that it's not engaging me. I just haven't been able to read anything for the week. But it's got all of a sudden the one character in Skeleton Key showing up, and I'm waiting for Enos Earthworm to show up.
Nice name.
Well, yeah, it's your underground, Victorian London crime, and a really good essay at the beginning talking about the sensational fiction of the time, and specifically the Penny Dreadfuls, where it's always constant action, and the use of sort of angry words or threatening words, and they've gone through and it's like, so many percent more than any other literature of the time. It's usually dealing with sex, violence, and money, just all the way through, and it's like nothing's changed. It's like look at like the hit TV shows today, this nonstop action, or the movies, but there's something funner about this. I don't know, because I read earlier this year the first series of the Mysteries of London, which is very similar. It's about the underworld of London, but that was 2,300 pages, and that's just the first part of the story.
Wow.
It's on to thousands and thousands of pages more.
So Clarissa should just be an afternoon's read for you, really.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that if you can get the original of that, it's like you probably read Farah the Penguin version, the big brick.
Yeah.
But that's less than half of what he actually wrote. That's like the second edition of it, where they cut it all out.
Really?
Down. Yeah, it's like twice the size of it, and it's really
Oh
hard.
my God.
So
I can't imagine.
Yeah. No. The other thing is, it slipped my mind now about.
I have that problem sometimes.
Oh yes, Ruth the Betrayal. It's probably the very first female detective. Even though there's other ones that say that it is, but she's at one point described as a female detective, but she's also a criminal. But she's used as a spy and as a detective at times, and then at other times they refer to her as not being that. But there's cross-dressing in here as well.
Fun.
Because women, it seems to be a popular thing, is women dressing up as men, and that was even in the Mysteries of London, and I think even Mysteries of Paris, wasn't there someone?
Oh, I don't remember. It's like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've only read it once, so.
But for people that don't know, just a brief thing. Eugene Sue, French writer, started this. It's almost, you might as well call it. Well, it's serialized, called Mysteries of Paris, and again, it's the underworld, and with a lot of slang and everything like that all the way through it. Really despicable people, but he called it Mysteries of Paris, and that began a craze for writing. So there's Mysteries of London, there's Mysteries of New York, Mysteries of Naples, Mysteries of Rome. I think there's dozens and dozens. Even Emile Zola got in on one of them.
No Mysteries of Prague?
Oh, I think there is. Yeah, I think there is.
Oh, really?
Wow, there is actually. But there's I'd love to read them all. But it's hard to find them. Like Emile Zola did one, and the guy who wrote dime novels did the New York one, but it's short. It's not that long. His name is Buntline or something, but he
his name is what?
Well, it's a nautical term, buttline.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you said. Like,
I didn't know if you said bug or butt.
Yeah, but it's a nautical term, so it's
Yeah,
not
yeah, it is.
a nautical term. Naughty. It's not naughty, but it's nautical.
It's a naughty nautical term.
But anyway,
Buttline.
this guy was like wrote everything westerns, and when you read his dime novel westerns, they're so bad that you just are laughing at how bad the dialogue is. But they were so popular. But they're
So it's
fun
like
to read.
campy. Yeah.
There is a comment here for you, Farrow, I suppose, or more directed at you, is when Aaron says he bought the Spy and the Traitor this week.
Nice.
Gave it away.
Oh,
It's Santa.
yeah. Keep looking for it. I think you would like it, Aaron. It's really good. It's really good.
What's it about? Spy and the Traitor.
It tells the story of Russian KGB agent Olav Gordievsky and how he ended up he became a spy for Britain's MI6. And then it talks about his life and what happened and how he started out doing that and what happened to make him want to switch over to help Britain. And it's happening during the Cold War, so like back in the 50s, 60s. And then I haven't got to this part yet, but it talks about how he escapes Russia once they figure out that he's a spy. So it's like the story of how they get him out of there. But yeah, Mark's read it.
It's incredible, yeah. I mean,
It's
but
really
I
good.
also read, just to answer Ariane here, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I also read Gordievsky's actual book as well. So he wrote his own account.
Oh.
It's called Next Stop Execution. And I read that several years ago. But I read this one, I think it was, it's only been 2 Dr. Novembers, right? So I read it last year for Dr. November. And it's great. And you'll appreciate it, Sean, because there's a Zulu connection in there.
Ah, okay. But
the guy who turns him, or the guy who approaches him I think it's in Copenhagen, is it, Farah, in Denmark? When he's
I think so.
KGB, is a Mr. Bromhead.
Yep.
So,
He was one of my favorites.
yeah, well, the Spy, would this fit for Spy?
Yeah.
Dr. November, sure.
Yeah, but it's not Cold War.
It doesn't matter. We didn't.
It doesn't matter.
We dispensed with it this year. It could be any kind of espionage, The Great Game, or anything. And I think we're going to keep it like that. It's more open, isn't it? So.
Well, I hope I finish this before then.
Yeah, but it's an incredible story. And Farah, when you get to that, the whole escape thing, you'll just be like, what? Your palms are sweaty. You're going along with the whole thing, and just the way they did it, it's really ballsy. Yeah, so
yeah, it's so ballsy, the whole thing. Ugh, I wouldn't be able to handle it.
No, I don't think I would either. Wouldn't be able to keep a straight face. I wouldn't be able to yeah, I'd be a terrible spy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Well, me, I have, yes, been distracted from Notre Dame de Paris by a lot of things, but also by a secret romance I've got going on with a 18th/19th century British admiral, a bromance, if you like, with Admiral Horatio the Lord Nelson.
And necrophilia thrown in as well, though.
Yeah, I don't know, but but I don't think they chopped off his penis like they did old Napoleon. So, well, they pickled him in brandy, didn't they? Nelson, rather.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, when he died, they brought him back to England. But I'm reading John Sugden's huge 2-volume biography of him, but it is so well written. It's so exciting. I mean, seriously, I always kind of just thought of Nelson as probably being a bit, a bit inflated. Somebody who, okay, we'll make him a national hero and all this kind of stuff. But it is so good and it's so interesting, and he's just such a remarkable character. He really is. I'm a massive fan now. And I haven't even, he hasn't even done anything that amazing yet, right? He's still only like 22, I think. But it's just very, very well written, and just, yeah, really. But it's large, it's big. So that's been my
very Hornblower-ish. Like, did he bore a lot for Hornblower?
I think he did. I mean, it seems that, well, there are other characters in there that kind of lend themselves to these other novels, right? So you've got Cochrane, I think, who becomes part of the basis for Hornblower and for Aubrey, Jack Aubrey, in Patrick O'Brien's books and things. But they're just so, it's just an incredible story, not just of Nelson, I suppose, but also of the Royal Navy, in the sense that it became just an organization like the world had never really seen. And it was such an efficient, and it's an awful thing to say, but such an efficient killing machine. You know, it's unbelievable. It's actually unreal. So like the British didn't have like, you know, necessarily better ships than the French. In fact, they were often not better. But for some reason, since they had a lot of dealings with India, they acquired better saltpeter, which meant they could produce. But I know this is like really fascinating, right? But produce better gunpowder. And then the big thing was that, like, the training of the men, they were so well drilled. So like I think I heard the French could fire one broadside. That's when like all the guns on one side of a ship fire at another ship. The French could fire one of those per minute, right? One of those per 4 minutes, right? Whereas the British could fire 3 in 4 minutes. So it completely decimated the French. Whereas they could only do 1 every 4 minutes, the British could do 3 every 4 minutes. So yeah, it's not difficult to see why, I guess, they were so effective. But it's just incredible. Just the whole, even the what do you call it? The support stuff, or the what's the word I'm looking for? Auxiliary, like this, the way they stock the ships, and all the stuff that goes into making one ship work. It's just incredible. It's just really incredible, really amazing. And I'm glad to see that Aaron's on the same page as me here. So yeah, I'm really feeling a strong read through of Aubrey Maturin next year. So
yeah, I've never read any of those.
Oh, they're so good. They are really, really good.
I couldn't stand the film, even though I love the director. I just couldn't stand the film. It was just I couldn't even finish it. It was just so bad, I thought. But it's like The Terror. I started watching the Terror series, and I thought, oh great, I'm able to watch it. 10 minutes into it, I can't watch it anymore. It's so bad.
I thought it was all right. I really didn't. I thought it was okay. And I like the film of Master and Commander.
The acting was just atrocious, and the dialogue and the way it was. I thought it was so bad, and it even it looked like they're showing the ship that they're supposed to be in the Arctic, and it looks like somebody just went around with white spray paint to spray on the snow.
Snow.
Really bad. I can't watch it. I'm sorry, I just can't watch it.
Well. Ariane's read the first one of Aubrey Maturin and really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, the thing a lot of people are put off by it is because he gets quite technical. He starts going into like the rigging and how it's done and all this kind of stuff, which can, I admit, can be a bit much at times. But you get into it though. You start to get into it and you think, that's fascinating. Yeah, it becomes fascinating. It's like these, I don't know how they provision ships and stuff, it's
well, the thing that I dislike about stuff, and it was I don't know if it's in the book or something like this, like they get somebody who's doing this kind of job that is supposed to be like a He-Man type job, but they always have them have a sensitive side, that they write poetry or write literature or play a violin. And isn't a violin or something like one of the characters plays a violin, and it's supposed to be like concert ability, but it just seems so wishy-washy or something to me. Or at least
they both play. In fact, they meet in the first book. They meet at a concert.
See, that doesn't work for me. It's just
why not? They're Georgian.
That would work for me.
They're Georgian gentlemen. I mean, I forget where they are. I think is it Port Mahon or somewhere in Spain? I don't know. I can't remember. But they're at some concert, and it's not a concert. It's what do you call those things women did in their salons back in the day. You know, it's a concert, but it's not like it's not a concert hall. It's like a soiree. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. So you know, it's and they both do. They both play an instrument, and they you know will play on the voyages. You know, with each other, the instruments. That is not anything else.
Yeah, well, it sounds like something else, but anyway.
Yeah, well, it was the Navy, so in those days, it could well have been. Yeah. But just the amount of research he puts into it all, it's just incredible. I mean, I've only read, I think, 7, and there's 20 completed ones, I think, and 21st is unfinished. But they are just really it's a universe you can get lost in, yeah, really. You know, it's like Pride and Prejudice with ropes and French.
Sean.
What's it?
I still got to do a read through again of Jane Austen, but I tried and I couldn't even get through the first book. It's just I just can't stand that stuff. It's just so badly done.
I've never read Jane Austen yet. I know, crazy, right?
Well, luckily for you, Farah, you don't actually have to read Pride and Prejudice because some amazing person on BookTube actually read, and I'm not talking about Steve Donahue because I did it with a genuine English accent, where I read the whole of Pride and Prejudice on my channel.
Oh, you did?
Like 3 years ago, yeah.
Oh, wow, nice.
Didn't do the voices though, but
put it on and get lost in the English voice.
Yeah, those velvety undertones that come from that cold northern Isle. You know, you only have to look at the two Aarons, you know, to know what it's like, the way us Brits, you know, speak.
Only somebody who is a Brit will say cold for England because it's not a cold place.
Not compared to us, right?
Exactly. That's
no, I don't agree. It's a different cold. It's like I was watching this person who was talking about how, you know, okay, the British Army doesn't have a lot of equipment and all this kind of stuff, and yet, like, the quality of them is probably among the best in the world, and it's because of this horrible conditions. It's horrible, like parts of Britain, like it's not cold in the way you're thinking of, like, oh, it's cold, I'll put in on a jumper. I mean, Aaron's from Wales, he'll be able to tell you that. It's like this cold that just permeates into your body, down to your bones.
Damp.
But it's the cold damp. That's what gets you.
Mm.
You know, if you're up in Scotland as well, that, like, just the wind goes through you and just it's just, you know, we're hardy people, very hardy. But
throw you down somewhere where it's 40 below Fahrenheit, and you tell me what's colder.
But you see, the whole point is you two wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for these hardy English people heading out into the world to, like, you know, push the boundaries of how cold they think it is back home by testing out other parts of the world. But I'm not going to get into an argument with my North American cousins over here. But Aaron read a book. I love Aubrey Maturin, the film, and really enjoyed The Terror. So
yeah, I want to read The Terror. That sounds really good. You both read that?
It's great.
Yeah, the book is fabulous. And I was really wanting to watch the TV series. And then on one of the streaming services I got here, I saw it said it's a box set, so you can watch it all in a row, but it's got commercials. So I started watching it, and I just couldn't get past the 10 minutes, and I'm not going back to it. I just thought it was like, I'm going, oh, this is bad acting. And then I kept watching, and then they show the ship, and it's like, you know, spray painted white for the snow and the frost.
Yeah, takes you right out.
It does, yeah, or it did me. So I'm not going to because I don't think it's going to tarnish the book, but then I'm just going to sit there and just, you know, any change I don't like about it, I'm going to pull my hair out for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so avoid the show. Gotcha.
The book is good though. It is well worth it. And actually, I don't know what it's like in America, but the audio book was really good. I don't know if it's the same, whether they have the same person narrating it, but I have to say I did both and really, really enjoyed both experiences. So.
Oh, so that's how you finished it first. You said you didn't say that you're doing the audiobook, and then you were so hot that you finished it before I did.
No, but I didn't listen to the audiobook when I was reading it. I listened to it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I put it on because I wanted to watch the series, and then like for the audiobook, it was, I can't remember if I bought it for like 99p or whether it was a credit, but it came up and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna listen to it after all that, see how they do the voices and stuff. So yeah, and it was good. It was very good.
Well, going back to Nelson, did they ever make a movie about that or him?
Yeah, there is a film about the Battle of Trafalgar, I think, but I don't. It needs a film. It needs
it sounds like it.
Big epic, really. Because they were tough, and not just the English. I will give kudos to the French. I was actually listening to
Aaron.
to the trust a Canadian to spot the fakes. No, but I listened to this podcast. That's what put me onto the book in the first place. It's called The Rest is History, which is a good podcast. But slight digression. I was reading, they get paid £80,000 a month each for this podcast.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're very good, but £80,000 a month.
A month.
Yeah, we're in the wrong game.
Yeah.
So, but they were talking, just all these kind of things, and they mentioned a load of authors, and of course I had to find out, and acquire some of these books. But I don't think there's been a proper epic, but it could do with it. I mean, I think it was the Battle of the Nile. The French commander literally almost got blown in half, and he refused even to go below, and he stayed on deck for 15 minutes, bleeding out till he died, just so that his men wouldn't give in and stuff. Yeah, it's terrible, crazy stuff. Yeah, and they managed to blow up this French ship, and apparently the explosion was just massive because it was a huge ship, and of course it had a huge stock of gunpowder on it. And when people realized what was happening, everybody starts to kind of start to try and sail away and move away from this thing, when they're engaged. But yeah,
but when you're on the Nile, you can't go very far.
They're not on the Nile. It's actually a miss. I think it's a miss.
They did have some ships. They had some ships on.
Yeah, but the battle takes place in the harbor near Alexandria or something. Yeah, pretty much. And it's just, I just love their motto. I don't think it was Nelson adopted it, but I don't think it was his originally. But the whole idea, when you see the French, go right at them. That's like their motto of the. Because they knew that they, and the best thing was psychologically, the French, the Spanish kind of felt that they would lose if they had to engage with the British anyway, right? So they just had this huge psychological advantage. It was great, or it's great. So if you go to the Royal Maritime Museum, they have loads of bits of ship from the Battle of the Nile and Nelson's jacket. Yeah. He was tiny as well, Nelson. He was a pretty small, sickly character, but
yeah, I never heard of him before for all the stuff that he did. We don't learn about it here, I guess. But now I know.
Necessarily, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, he was marginally involved in the Revolutionary War, but not really, because he was still quite young. So,
but Napoleon would be known.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, why wouldn't Nilsson? Yeah, I didn't realize that. That seems a bit strange. That if Napoleon is, then Nilsson would be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'd think, I think more people know Nelson than know the Duke of Wellington, probably. He did defeat Napoleon and he never lost to the French. Actually, the Duke of Wellington, but. Yeah, hey ho.
There you go.
Apologies to my French viewers.
And we can commemorate him every time we put on our wellies.
That's right. Or fly to New Zealand.
Yep.
I bet there's a place called Wellington in Canada, surely.
Probably.
Yeah, I can't think, but yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yeah. So
All right. Well, unfortunately, I think I got to get going. Just about at the time.
yeah,
So,
I don't think we'll be around much longer.
yeah.
You know, seems none of us have read very much, so it's almost been
I
like
know. I feel bad, but
a pretty pathetic Friday Reads Live, isn't it? Really, like in terms of like
nice
us.
beefy chat about the Notre Dame de Paris. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
did
we'll
finish
get
a
there.
book. I read one book. Did anybody else finish a book?
No.
No,
Better luck next time.
and I'm not going to because like this. Notre Dame de Paris is the shortest book I'm reading at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, oh dear. Anyway, Farah, yeah, we'll let you go. Well, actually,
Okay.
I don't know. We'll go in a minute, Sean. I guess another 10 minutes maybe. But thank you so much for joining us, Farah. Do have a good rest of your day, and yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for spending your lunch break with us.
Yes. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Sean. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
If I can get out.
If I can get,
Yeah, no, I mean it's I'm reading this 800-page biography of Ian Fleming, 2,000-page biography across 2 volumes or whatever of Nelson and Notre Dame de Paris. So it's quite a lot, really. I know for you it's a Wednesday evening, but
like there's something that I want to maybe if we continue to do the Friday reads is we'll have to start of something that you've come across something in the week that sort of pisses you off. I kind of think, and I've got one. I'll
You got one for this week?
yes.
Go for it.
I gotta find a little thing now. I was looking for as you know that while you want to read To Your Scattered Bodies Go next year.
Yeah.
That's the Riverworld series, and I'm looking for the individual magazine serializations of it. And I found like one on Amazon, and here's the description.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's wrong with people who pretend to be booksellers or think, that are selling books on the internet. Let me read the description.
Okay.
And this is a magazine, okay? It's called Worlds of Tomorrow Science Fiction Magazine from the 60s. And this is the condition. More of a thick magazine than a paperback. This is not designed to last half a century. A few copies do. So rarish. Exactly as shown in photo. Yellowing, small stain on back and cover. Some scuffing and small holes made by genuine bookworm. Near edge. And it just goes on.
It almost makes you want to get it, right?
No, it doesn't.
Genuine bookworm? That's amazing. I mean, none of that fake bookworm crap. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like somebody's there with a little Dremel or a little drill putting holes in them.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll continue it though. Just have to get some more reading in to kind of pad it out a bit.
Well, I'm going to be reading probably almost to Christmas. If I get going on this, it's not going to take me. I could be done by next week, but I'll have to see if I get going on it.
But to be honest, I don't think there's much harm in keeping it around 45 minutes to an hour and then occasionally going over when the need takes, because I doubt too many people watch lives when they go over and beyond even, half an hour to an hour, really. I mean, it's difficult unless it's, something super, super awesome and amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to maybe do a rundown sometime around New Year's Eve, if not New Year's Eve itself, of what we thought were like the highs and lows of our reading throughout this year, which could be kind of fun, really, to look at and dissect, and maybe even see in the new year. I just don't know yet whether I probably will be here over the course of the midnight hour, because I will I'm supposed to go out for like a drink or two over the road, but I won't be alone. I won't leave Elvis alone rather when the fireworks go off, right? Because he gets freaked out. So yeah, so we'll work it out. But I think that would be good. But yeah, back. Well, actually, no. Actually, next week I'm out. I won't be able to do this next week. So it will be around Christmas, I suppose, because I've got a Christmas party at work next week. So
Lucky you.
yeah. Lucky me. Yeah, a few lemonades will be drunk, no doubt. So we shall see. All right, so I suppose we'll stop there, Sean. I'm going to run Elvis out. I mean, this is the hard part now, is running him out where it's pitch black and there's snow everywhere. So I got my little phone torch.
Yeah, that's why I say you need something more than that. That's not a real.
You need one of those miner's hats with a huge beam on it or something. Yeah, it's
Get
true.
one for Elvis.
Yeah, yes, I've seen them with the collars and stuff that have these lights dangling. Yeah, it could be good. Super. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us this evening, and my thanks again, of course, to Sean and Farah for coming on here. And hopefully by next time, maybe next Saturday, I'll be able to do it actually instead of Friday. I'll have read more of Notre Dame de Paris and maybe actually finish the book. But we'll see. I'd like to try and get them all done by New Year's Eve, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Do take care. All the best it's good night from me. And it's good night from him, right? Is that? Yeah. I thought you had to finish it, no?
No. It's good night for me and it's good night for him.
One person says both?
Yeah.
I always thought it was that it's good night from me. And then the other person said it's good night from him. So, well, I don't know. It's years ago. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.